So, how's the mammoth? You treating you well?
Um, I'm getting a lot of levels. Like Threo is what? She's level 106 now. I
Okay.
because I've been exclusively helping on other people's and I don't care if I die. I've gone back to putting a leveling eternal back there. Hold
Not
on,
a lot of
hold
basic EXP from that thing though. I'm glad I'm leveling up Sailfon in the back.
Are you getting him to 110 or are you going past? Are you going beyond?
He's going at 130 right now.
Sick. You're actually bringing him to hard content. That's sick. Uh,
Yeah, I was planning to at least get him 130 and get Neo to 150.
that sounds really fun, honestly. I just don't have enough prisms for it. All right. Basketball's done. Let me pull up our agenda. There it is. That was easy. Okay. Let me set up a second window. One for me to go around and actually do stuff, and one for me to keep joining mammoths. I'll join Goishias. All right. All right, let's actually begin. Hi everybody. Hold on. I should change scenes and
20 minutes later when we're here.
yeah. Well, 24 hours and 20 minutes later, honestly.
I mean, we don't count yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving for those of you who are in the US. This is Granblue Radio. This is episode number 500, not 524, 254.
Happy Premium Friday, everybody.
It's a rare Friday episode of this because, well, we had Thanksgiving. Um, anyway, uh, my Thanksgiving, I did actually have my phone under the table and it would occasionally tap it to hit Mammoth, but I didn't really play. What about you, DJ?
I watched a baby while also hitting the button.
That sounds like a good night to me, honestly. That reminds me of when I would babysit my niece and play through. It was the Sakura Tyson collab. I remember that one playing with a baby on one shoulder, and then while holding the baby, um, I would play Granblue Fantasy in the other hand because it's just like, what else am I doing with this hand?
Did you get to the Sun Katanas?
I did not get the Sun Katanas. I was going for the Raphael gun, and I did. I got
I also got the gun too, but
him.
let me just not have health.
All right, so this has been an interesting Unite and Fight. We usually don't talk about Unite and Fight, but I wanted to talk about this Unite and Fight not because of the Unite and Fight itself, but because of the unique challenges that the boss offers.
And you're
Because
at 50% right now, right?
yeah, this is 50% right now. Oh, look at those 6 buffs. Wait, is it 6? It's 7 actually.
It's a
It
lot.
it puts up 7 buffs and regularly gets rid of your buffs. And so because of how many issues that people had with this thing, there is a lot going on. Some people are like, oh yeah, you can only do this if you have Halloween Vein. It's like, no, we're doing without Halloween Vein. It's just that
There's actually a lot of things on like the game with right now that
there's
shows you how to do this without this character, this grid, whatever.
yeah. Um, so people are being forced to get really creative, and the creativity has been really funny.
Such as
All right. So, uh, I didn't do this because I don't have the right timing for it. Uh, but there is a timing push based uh, team makeup where you have Vera out, and
yeah,
Vera has what on full auto. Vera will die on what turn 8, turn 9.
somewhere around there. I forget her timing.
But it's a timing push. If you have passed 50% by turn 9, so if you have the right team to do that, and having Vera herself out there helps a lot because she does such reliably high and good damage, then
And
you
also
can
kills herself.
yeah, then she gets you past 50% reliably because my current team actually has a lot of RNG on whether or not Neon triple attacks. Um, and that gets me past 50% on time. But anyway, so you do that. Vera dies. She gives way to Dark Sarunan, who then presses the button that used to be the worst button in Granblue Fantasy.
Ah, Unia.
And something that people have long forgotten about Uni because Dark Sarunan has been so bad for so long. It does the following. It dispels every single buff on the boss that is dispellable. It dispels every single buff on you that is dispellable. And it gets rid of debuffs on your own team.
I
So,
forgot about that last part.
right? And so it's a beautiful design. Like, this is actually the perfect boss to pull out Dark Sarunan because this boss will try to blind you. It tries to stun you. It tries to slash you, strong arm you, skill seal you. There are 5 relevant debuffs that this thing tries to pull out. Like, your solution was to bring 2 Veils.
Yeah, I bring Relic Buster, Veil, and Tiamat.
Yeah.
Sometimes the only it's a rare chance though that my Relic Buster doesn't multi-attack, and so I actually have to eat those debuffs. It's
right?
very rare.
But it still happens. And the way that the Mammoth also hits, the Mammoth hits like several trucks tied together into a very large truck.
I mean, it's a Mammoth. It makes sense.
Under 50%, especially because you've got the debuff clear. You've got not just that, but it veils itself, or it gives itself debuff resist specifically. It gives
I've
itself.
never seen a debuff actually go through with that thing up.
It gives itself Earth Chaser on its attacks. It gives itself triple attack up. And so if you go through that and you don't debuff it, you are getting murdered. That thing attacks for like 30,000.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have Vayne to help mitigate that. It still hurts.
It hurts a lot. And so what do? Well, it's like, Astariel gets rid of one of them at a time.
So you can start debuffing immediately afterwards.
My solution is I just bully the boss with my grid, using the same team, just different order. Occasionally, Old Man dies, and then Rosetta pops out. But yeah, I don't have Neon 130. I have Neon 120, so I don't actually have the extra debuffing.
Defense.
The debuffing specifically, because having Ninanana able to cast its own attack down and defense down matters a lot. Like a lot on this fight.
You mean it's more than a Coma bot, but you can't Coma?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coma worked up until 100. It's 150 where it doesn't work anymore. But anyway, so it's just like there's so many. They threw so many things into this Mammoth, right? Like 7 buffs, a huge number of debuffs, like multi-attacks that do extra damage, so you can't like mirror image matters.
It helps.
Yeah,
especially since one of its CAs is actually just 2 random hits.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, there's so many tools that you can bring into this that will all matter. And so another thing another character who's experienced a revival, and I've been waiting years to say this because 2015's in shambles. 1 second while this goes through. Once that goes through, I'll go to the character. All right. Like, Dark Sarunan, back when I used to maintain a tier list, I called him one of the kings of trash, kings of garbage, because that character would grief you if you ever played that character.
I remember that tier list that you wrote up. It has a quote from one of our crewmates.
Which one?
Fight fair.
Oh yeah, fight fair. No debuffs for anybody. So, all right. Let's go and sort by Wind Dagger, a sorting that has never been done before by someone doing something serious.
What? I use Rosetta.
Carmelina, another old queen of garbage, has also come up.
She was queen of garbage because she had a, 30-second? 10
seconds? We would have killed for 30 seconds. It was like 10 or 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds of
gravity.
Grav.
and it overwrote gravity. Like, why? Why did they do that? So, anyway, so Carmelita does multiple important things. So we said mirror image works. Well, she has mirror image on CA. That's a great full auto option. She has multi-attack down because the thing gives itself triple attack up. So this also prevents you from getting murdered. And it's on a 5-turn cooldown. That's very important. She has a 5-turn cooldown gravity. Main character gravity is like an 8 or 9-turn cooldown or something crazy.
I think it's 9.
Yeah. And so, like, people are bringing out Carmelita, and Carmelita is stabilizing the hell out of people's runs. Like, she gets rid of Mammoth Caliber. She makes it so that you don't have to bring main character gravity. The mirror image also just helps you a lot against those post 50% like chaser attacks. I'm living for this. I'm living for all of these videos that are like, remember this character who was awful?
And you can get her into beginner pool.
Yeah. There's a 1 in 6 chance that if you started an account in the last few years that you just started with her.
Yeah,
so.
After they made those initial changes with her, like 2017 or something. She actually is way usable.
Yep. And then another thing on a redemption arc. So, admittedly, this is not because Temperance itself is bad. It was bad when it first started, because remember when it used to prevent you from attacking too?
Yeah, it was even if at full.
Yeah. So, people who are playing this on manual, for once they have made a boss that is relevant, and also will actually get hit by restrain. This is so rare that this happens.
Yeah, I see it often with Astariolas.
And so, like, this has been a Unite and Fight where that's been designed in such a way that 3 characters who just have not had any shine in the last 2 characters and a summon.
One of these characters is unintended.
Like, bravo, Dark Saranon. Bravo. But Carmelina's awesome, too. I love her.
Carmelina is actually amazing.
But yeah, like, this has been an enjoyable Unite and Fight just to see what creativity people had to do when they didn't have, like, the well, I mean, even the hard mode gods, right, for Wind, like,
he's already Earth. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, like, Katsulia doesn't do anything. This one, like, was kind of engineered against Monkey a little bit. Monkey's still good against this, but yeah, there's
the one thing that you literally cannot work around unless you just, like, auto kill the team is Korwa, Summer Korwa specifically.
Right, but that's yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Because you get 100% debuff resist.
Yeah. But well, that depends on whether or not you're willing to play this event manual. Anyway, so it's fun. This has been fun just to read all the stuff around it. I
do appreciate, like, they're showing the time differences in the but you're able to do these.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's pretty much it about Unite and Fight. That's the most we've talked about Unite and Fight in like a year.
In forever, yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations to Carmelina, Dark Saranon, and Temperance for. Well, Temperance has had like 4 days of relevance. Dark Saranon and Carmelina have had 2 days of relevance. That's a lot of shine for them by our standards.
Well, to be fair, Carmelina was still good before all this. It's just that we have a fight that requires having these or die, having these debuffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also it's solo. Most of the time.
I mean, you can call in your crew.
You can. I'm doing that right now. But yeah. Anyway, so that's that. That's Unite and Fight.
I'm using Rose Mom right now because she gives supplemental damage.
Yeah, the Unite and Fight joy is that because the challenge changes, then you get to see like 12 to 15 characters all in rotation, just because there's a lot of specialized toolboxes, and sometimes the character who's great against Nightmare 95 isn't the one who's great against Nightmare 100, isn't the one who's great against 150. It's
Nightmare
fun.
95 was funny for me because I did the full auto no CA.
Yeah, people really hate this boss. It's like they found a way to make a boss more hated than the average wind boss that gives itself dodge.
Dodge.
It's like what can we do to make people hate this boss more than all of the dodge
Look, it's
monsters?
fine. They printed a character that will help you deal with the dodge bosses after Guild Wars.
True.
Thanks a lot.
Well, they did also make Enyo hasn't really like gotten the shine that people kind of expected on this one, but that's fine. There's there will be a time for Enyo. All right. Anyway, so the other thing that we wanted to talk about actually, so
Vintage series.
Vintage series. So they've been setting up for this in little hints of Fate episodes for about a year now.
Yeah, since actually,
Fiorito was released
November 16th of last year.
Oh, so it's almost exactly a year. Nice.
Yeah, so Feather and Fiorito came out on the same banner.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tied together. If you actually watch Feather's Fate episode, Fiorito was in it. She says not named.
Mm-hmm. She's just shrouded in darkness or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Kolulu. So, the whole thing with this related stories thing, it's like, all right, you can play this event without having done any previous event. Kolulu's been in like 3 events. Feather's been in like 2. Is it 2? Is it just 1? Was it just 1,000 Reasons?
Isn't Kolulu only in 1 event? And it's the summer one?
No, she was also she was in the eating contest one and the
summer.
Yeah, and also the shark one. The shark zombies.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, this will be the 3rd event that she's in. True is brand spanking new. Tico's brand spanking new. Those 2 came out on the same day.
Yeah, True and Tico were May 18th of this year.
Mm-hmm. So, wow, they seeded these exactly so that 6 months after they put in more story seeds for this, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well paced. Good planning for this.
Look, I'm just waiting for Fiorito to stab me in the back somewhere.
We've been waiting for Olivia to stab us in the back for like 4 or 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah, but we're promised that this character's actually in the event.
Yeah, you're right. So the thing that I like about this is that they do give you all of the information that you need, because normally when you get to this Fate episode preview thing, it only shows you their introduction one. But if you're going into this event blind, like Kolulu and True, they only show you the introductory episode because that's where they talk about their weapon. Where it's like, yeah, I found this Gizla in a dumpster. Then there's True, where it's like Durandal is the only reason I can function as a warrior.
Wait, was Girl in Flux her introductory one?
Is it her introductory one or is it her first Fate? Because it is her background story. It's her background story about how she grew up on a dump.
That has nothing to do with Gisela. Her background story was told in the second part of her Fates.
Got it. So that'll be relevant. True carries around the Durandal because it's the only way he can fight, because he just inherits essentially the memories of the Durandal. Tico.
So in the True one, when I viewed the Fate episode earlier today, because that's the only character I don't have is True.
Mm-hmm.
It only showed me up to the part where you're showing the princess the memories of Primal Beasts.
I see.
Like I didn't know he had Durandal.
Okay. So it only shows you his backstory as opposed to
it hit me with the get this character to find out.
It does that with Fiorito too.
Yeah, I pointed that out to you earlier.
Yeah.
And I have the character. so I had to actually go into her Fate episodes normally.
Right.
So
And
that's
then
the
Feather, it only
problem
shows you
of
his
this.
later. Yeah, it shows you his later ones for Feather because, like, his first one is just him running errands because he's a nice guy.
Oh no, no, it shows you Reckless Seeker,
So,
and then Ichigeki. No, uh, so wait, it only shows you that last part because I thought that doesn't show you the entire part.
I think so. But yeah, it's an interesting design. They did the same kind of thing for the Still event, but this is a much newer cast. Like 5 of these characters were introduced within the last year.
And then Kolu was 2019, and we're like, why do you have Gisela?
I found her in a dumpster. Actual
All right,
trash child, precious trash
yeah.
child.
Ragazzo, you see in the punching fates, and Ferdinand, you see in Tico's fates.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one. They've been setting it up for a while. I'm still waiting for the other one that they set up a very long time ago with Diantha, but well, we'll get there.
I mean, we'll eventually get there.
This one had much more set up to it than anything.
Yeah, so many characters.
Mm-hmm. They released 2 characters with relevant fates, and then another 2 characters with relevant fates, and so yeah. All right, that's pretty much it for this week. We're gonna have a nice, relaxing time fighting a cannibal and some random punk kid.
Yeah, Ichigeki. Feather wants to fight him.
Yeah, and then next week we will have new characters to talk about. We'll have the event to talk about. We will not have Choreogro to talk about. We will instead have the schedule for. Actually, we'll probably go over merchandise for Granblue Fantasy Fest.
What day is that again?
Which one, Granblue Fantasy Fest or the next episode of this thing?
Granblue Fantasy Fest.
December 11th and 12th.
All right. For the 9th, do you want me to set up another Jeopardy?
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So, anyway, short episode today. Next week will be a fun one, I think. And we'll see what happens in the run-up to Granblue Fantasy Fest 2021. I didn't actually introduce ourselves in this one because I forgot. But this has been Vibrating Sheep along with Friend and
DJ
for episode number 254 of Granblue Radio. Happy holidays.
New Life for
Enjoy
Old Dogs, according to this.
What was that?
Said the title is apparently New Life for Old Dogs, apparently.
Oh, yeah. It's because of Old Dogs specifically referring to 2 of the worst characters in Granblue Fantasy history. 2 of the worst SSR characters in Granblue Fantasy history. Let me be very specific about that.
What, you mean Drusilla's a great character now?
I'm not saying anything. She does get used, however, she's not used for a real purpose. She is used.
She's used to not attack.
Correct. Anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoy the long weekend. For those of you in the U.S., I've been losing all sense of time and space because I took a week off, and so as far as I know, because we did this thing, it's Thursday, right? Definitely Thursday.
Yep, totally Thursday.
Easily
Thursday.
Thursday.
Like my Saturday.
Anyway, I'm gonna be staying up to watch Cinderella Girls because we've got a rare shiny Pokemon showing up for her first concert, like official concert appearance. So, well, technically there will be 4 people showing up for their first concert appearance for Cinderella Girls, but still,
But
the point.
Has been here forever.
Yeah, one of them has been a Cinderella Girl for like 6 years. So we'll see you then. We'll see you next week, and we'll figure things out from there. Good night. Good night, everybody. I need to restart because my computer is convinced that Super Robot Wars is still open. I can't play SRW under these circumstances because it's like, oh, it's still running. I'm like, I can't find this process anywhere. I hate you. But you know what?
When are you gonna watch Tico's Fate?
Probably tomorrow.
Understandable.
We've got 2 hours until Cinderella Girl starts. I kind of want to play some Super Robot Wars.